Everybody knows it's easy to get garlic into a Ukrainian like me. Put it into a bottle's a little harder. So this episode we're looking at how they get the garlic and the raspberry and other flavors into their vodkas.
Flavored vodka, you can throw raspberries into vodka. You could throw lemon peels, orange peels, blueberries, really just about anything you want. Garlic like we do. And because alcohol is such a good solvent, it's really good at pulling esters out of compounds. And esters are what give flowers their smell and fruit their flavor. So anything that's a good solvent is going to draw esters out of a fruit or a vegetable or a berry.
We also make a couple other products that are pretty interesting and lots of fun. One day I came in the morning to work and Jeff looks at me and says, "Hey Mike, get in the back there and make some sambuca." And I'm like, "I don't know how to make sambuca, Jeff, what are you talking about?" He goes, "Get back there, you'll figure it out." So I go in the back in the production floor and I'm trying to figure out how to make sambuca. And I'm thinking, well, sambuca is black licorice. So I've got anise here, or star anise, some people call it, and that's a black licorice flavor. So I thought I'd make a gin style. So I put some vodka in our little jelly bean still, and I took some anise and I put it in our little tea bag, put it in the gin basket, and ran the vodka vapor through that, and made a new product that we call Zamabuca. So it's a little homage to Zama City up in northern Alberta. It's a real big oil and gas town. It's a really small town, but it's really big on oil and gas. So we want to pay a little homage to that Alberta heritage again. Called it Zamabuca, but it's really basically a vodka that has black licorice flavoring in it. So it's not sweet and syrupy and sticky like Sambuca, but it's a nice, clean black licorice flavor.
In the wintertime, we actually concentrate on our potato vodka production, because if we freeze our potatoes for our vodka, it helps the whole process. So
we make 3 different kinds of vodka. One's from potatoes, one from wheat, one from corn. We make 18 flavored vodkas. Our best-selling one, believe it or not, is garlic flavor. Really? Makes a killer good seasoner though, yeah. So we only buy from local suppliers. So whether it's a farm across the road here that sells us their wheat for making vodka, we get potatoes from the potato company making nice potato vodka. So everything is locally sourced.
Ugh.
Yeah, you're still short.
Still short, even on the ladder. There's no short jokes. Hey, my arms might be too short to reach in the bottom. Whoa. Right on. Nailed it.
Stompin' Tom always said, "I know a lot of people from east to west, and they like the spuds from the island best, because they stand up to the hardest test, right on the table." But if he wanted to put a spud in a glass, I think he'd like these Jesperson spuds just fine.
Now we got to turn on all the stuff, boiler. So the UV light, kill any bugs. Recycle pump. Turn the feed pump on for the boiler. It's initiating. Safe start check. Signal, pilot, flame. Golden. So boiler's on. Now we got to turn on the agitator for the mash tun for the potatoes. We got to run it a little faster, 38 RPM. Spin those potatoes in there good.
well, we're trying to get more efficiency out of this potato mash that we're making. You know, potatoes are 60% water, so they don't have as high a starcher content what everybody thinks that they have. So we had to bump the content up a little bit. The damn stuff, when it gets into the mash tun, is so thick in there that we can't even get it to rotate. So, you know, we turned to Sean like we always do. He innovates, and he came up with a design where we took an apple masher and we adapted it and turned it into a potato grinder. This mashed up potatoes looks more like what you would have as hash browns for breakfast in the morning. And that stuff, it's not clogging up. We can get extra volume in there, and it's working really well for us. Sean has been with us pretty much from day one. Sean's our welder. He does some machining. He has his own business, but he's here so much. He's on our staff, really, and has been right from day one. A lot of this equipment, when you order it, isn't really designed exactly the way it should be, so you have to have modifications done to it, and Sean fixes absolutely everything.
Building the distillery took a bit of time, actually, but it went fairly quick. We got all the equipment in. It came in crates, and it was all in pieces. So it was basically like a big jigsaw puzzle, and we had to put it all together.
They gave us a picture of the whole backside, so we had to kind of piece everything back in together.
Lots of pipes. We would hold them up for a second, try to figure out where it would go, and go, whoa, that ain't gonna work.
That's gone.
And then we would look at all the pieces and try to put them back together again.
Trying to put the last piece up, it was like just a little short on the one side, so it was
No short
fun.
jokes, man.
Oh,
No short
so no
jokes.
short jokes. Yeah, that's right.
So we've always had the idea to try and make everything as in-house as we possibly can, or as local as we possibly can. And to that end, we found out that PV Mart here sells beehives. So I thought, well, we could figure out how to do that. So we ordered a beehive back in January. Grant went in and put the deposit down for us. They showed up here a little while ago. And the idea behind it is, A, we wax dip our bottles. It's beeswax that has some black food coloring in it. So now we'll have our own source of wax, actually. And then we've been talking about developing kind of a honey jack, which is it's a bourbon that has honey flavoring to it. So now we'll have honey to do that kind of liquor too down the road. It's been a steep learning curve. They don't come with instructions. You got to figure it out as you're going. So thankfully there are a bunch of local beekeepers that have given us some advice and some direction, and that's helping us. So far I've been handling the bees. Didn't have any episode the first time, which my son filmed a little bit of that. One night I was showing off how tame they were, which was a bad idea because I was in shorts and a tank top and I got stung there, but that's what I get for showing off. We really don't know how much honey they're going to produce or how much wax they're going to produce. There are other local honeybee farmers that have said that they would sell us some of their wax too. Right now we're getting it from a third party. We always want to cut the middlemen out and go straight to the source for any ingredients that we're getting. So if we're dealing directly with a bee farmer, farming them ourselves, that's what our business model is.
All right, they're in. Yeesh. No sudden moves.
Jeff said he was going down to Habaneros for a fine lunch, but I think he might be doing a little product research as well for him.
Just going to have some lunch at Habaneros restaurant here in Leduc. They're a Mexican-themed restaurant. We do a bit of work with them. They came to us with some things from their kitchen, habanero peppers and jalapeno peppers, and we make some custom vodka for them to make some fantastic cocktails. So we'll go have some.
Habaneros restaurant is a local Leduc restaurant. The owner, Jim, came in here one day interested in carrying some of our products. And we've created 2 custom alcohols for them that they've been able to take and turn into fantastic cocktails, to the point that people that go there and have those cocktails now come here and buy those bottles of liquor. We like to support them as much as possible. They're a small family-owned business, just like we are.
Oh, that looks fantastic. That's the owner, El Patron. He goes by Jim, is his name. Fantastic guy. Him and his brother work here together. They got a really good serving staff in here. We always come here whenever we have big staff events, actually. How you doing, sir? Good, excellent. Good to see you, El Patron. So we decided to come by and have some lunch. Excellent. Maybe sit on the patio, have some of your fantastic cocktails made with that rig hand vodka we worked together on. Excellent. Sound good?
That sounds
all right. Awesome. You bet.
Competing in the Best Caesar in Town contest in Edmonton.
Oh, yes.
Coming up on the 22nd.
So you're going to use one of your custom vodkas with that?
We are.
Which one are you thinking?
We're thinking the habanero one.
Habanero line?
Habaneros.
Makes sense. Our vodka was used for a few of the different cocktails last year, but nobody else has the habanero vodka, so I think you guys have a leg up on it for sure. I won't tie you up too much. I know you got to get back to the kitchen. Thank you.
Yep.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Get the sizzle.
How was everything, guys?
Really good, Jim. You betcha. As usual, the food here is fantastic.
Oh, thank you.
I like that screwdriver that I had with a habanero vodka in there. I haven't had
bit of
that.
a kick?
Haven't had that before. Yeah, it's got a nice spice to it, actually. Yeah.
Excellent. How'd you like the camarones momias there? The
Oh,
bacon wrapped shrimp?
they're my favorite, actually. Every time I come here, I order them. I can't tell you how many people come into our on-site store at the distillery and they see the habanero vodka and the jalapeno ones that we make for you guys. And every person that sees them goes, oh, that Habanero's restaurant Leduc is fantastic. I go there all the time. So you guys are very well known for what you're doing, actually.
Yeah, and it's we get a lot of people that come in and try the vodka and then go back over to your guys' place and buy a bottle of it from the gift shop there.
That's perfect. It's a good give and take, absolutely.
Yeah, it's a good way to support the local community, and like we like to do that wherever possible. Like we get our corn tortillas from the tortilla factory in Edmonton, El Mercado there.
Yep.
You know, we get the vodka made here, our chorizos made with pork from local meats down the street there.
Yep.
So anytime we can tie into a local provider, we like to do that. I mean, some things like the Alberta shrimp catch and avocado harvest aren't what they once were.
Fair enough.
We have a few things we have to go abroad, but
But when we all work together, we all benefit, and that's what it's all about. Absolutely. Thank you. I'm going to finish up my lunch. Good seeing you. Did you come to us first, or did we come to you?
I'd had a tour at the distillery there,
Yeah.
and really liked the stuff you guys are working on. Loved the garlic vodka, and then had an idea that, well, maybe we could work together on something custom that you can't get anywhere else. And so we came up with the idea, well, let's have a habanero lime vodka and a jalapeno basil vodka.
Yeah.
So working with your team there, I went back into the kitchen there and got some of the peppers
Yeah.
I'm using from making salsas there. So grabbed a bunch of fresh orange habaneros, and as I recall, for this one here, we had some jalapenos. I grabbed basil from out my garden, my backyard.
Yep.
And that's what we used to make the first batch there.
That's how we started,
Yeah.
and it's grown now. I don't know how many batches we've done now, but it's definitely become a very popular thing. We sell a lot of it at the distillery. I don't even know how many batches we're up to now, but it's definitely popular. The other thing about it, though, is you have to be pretty creative as a bartender to find a cocktail that you can use something this unique in. So you guys have done that, right?
In addition to the classic Caesars, we also do a Mexican screwdriver, and that one uses the jalapeno basil vodka in there, and it gives a really neat little kick to it. So
Absolutely.
Picture your normal screwdriver, but you have the smell of the basil, and then you get a little bit of a bite from the jalapeno there.
Absolutely, yes.
And it kind of lingers on your tongue a little bit.
That's the one I had with lunch, and it was fantastic. And I still do have that pepper taste. Well, thanks very much for feeding us today. Really
Oh, it's
appreciate
my pleasure. Thank you.
the support that you give the distillery, and it's always good when local businesses work together.
Absolutely. Everyone wins.
Cheers.
Yeah.
We find a lot of times if we can repurpose other used equipment rather than buying brand new, it's much more affordable for us. And we wouldn't be able to do any of these repurposed projects without Sean or Wells.
Jeff, he always decides he wants to make something out of nothing, so he comes to me. He says, Sean, what do you think? And I go out and I said, well, it's always possible. Get a valve going so we can get some brum going through this thing. I was just telling him how you bring all that dairy stuff to me and want me to make something out of nothing. So.
Yeah, but that's because you can make anything out of nothing.
Well, it can only the only two things that they can't do is pour their own drinks and don't fix broken hearts. That's for sure.
He's very much an outside the box thinker, kind of like I am. So we found these used dairy tanks, and their purpose is not to be fermenters or mash cookers.
Refurbishing cream equipment or milk equipment is a bit of a challenge. The good thing is it's all stainless steel. The better thing is Sean is a stainless steel welder, so he can put all these things together for us.
Another day at the office. Oh, we're doing this tank for the old Brum. Get that molasses over here, bud, and get it all fixed up. They used to make butter out of these. Now we're gonna make some liquor out of it.
Is that what they did?
Yeah.
These are butter churners?
Yeah, butter churners. So now we're gonna make some liquor out of it.
We always gotta be looking for deals. Sean helps us find those deals every chance he gets.
You got her, buddy. Let's make some sparks. All cracked in here, so we're just gonna repair it up and make it brand new again. Here we go. I had to weld new bungs on there, and if the motor didn't work, find a new motor, try to put that on, you know, weld fittings on, and then as soon as I got it running, it was top notch.
If you can think differently, you can come up with an idea of how to modify them. So we sat down, we kind of butted our heads together a little bit and came up with a plan. And Sean went off, sourced the parts, a little bit of welding, a couple spare parts, close off a couple valves that really shouldn't be there for our purpose. And next thing you know, we've got 3 brand new fermenters and 1 tank that can actually be used as a mash tun.
We'll just patch up all this bubble gum here and we'll be good. Sometimes it works out in the worst ways. Sometimes it goes in the back 40, but like everything else, it's trial and error when you're the first biggest one coming out. Nobody really tells us what to do. Everybody's trying to peel off of us. So first one to the gate, I guess.
This is the first time I'm using this setup. We need a belt tensioner on it.
Yeah.
Because Grant's jerry-rigged this up. It works pretty good, but...
Sean got a pulley for it the other day.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he just didn't bring it by yet.
It just shortens the cook time. We're trying to liquefy the potatoes, right?
Making the cook go a lot faster.
Yeah, an hour or so. But it works pretty good. It really does a good job on the potatoes.
Be careful.
I will.
We'll pump it out of there, pump it into these square fermenters, which are really just a big bowl for the yeast to eat out of. Throw the yeast and let it go to town. It takes our yeast only 4 days to eat through that thing and convert it to about 10 to 12% alcohol. So that's pretty fast, aggressive acting yeast, actually. Yeah. Once it's hit 10 or 12%, we take it out of there and we put it into the still, and we evaporate all the nice alcohol out of it and concentrate it. If we're making vodka or gin, we want as pure as we can get it. So it's right up to 96.5% when it comes out of there.
Bailey is another one that works full-time with us now. Bailey does pretty much everything. She can help me with the mashing, she can help me on the distilling runs, but mostly what she does and looks after is the bottling section.
Yeah, I'm usually in the bottling area. It's my little introvert sanctuary. And I'm very OCD about the numbers, making sure everything's in straight lines. So you have to re-sanitize all the bottles in alcohol, let them dry, put them under our little bottling machine, which fills them to the 750 mils. Then we put either a screw top or a cork on there, wrap a piece of tape around each one, and dip it in our little crock pot, which is full of black beeswax. And then we hand label the back and front and write the batch and bottle number on every single one.
So she keeps track of all the batches and the bottles that we got going. She informs us when we're getting a little low on product.
So Sean, our welder, found this nice big stainless steel table from our friends over at Stanfos. We did some modifications to it, gave the ladies a higher working surface than what they were using before, stainless steel surface rather than a wood surface, so non-porous. It's just a better setup, really.
The most recent move of the bottling area is actually so much better. I'm out of the steam from the still and the cook pot there, and it's a much better desk that's not shredding apart.
Bailey is sometimes even asked to do some garlic peeling. That's probably the worst job in the distillery, is peeling the garlic.
So we source garlic from a few different places. We always aim for Russian red garlic because it's the most flavorful and most aromatic. And we get most of it from a guy named Nick Listerchuk. He calls his Pemina Purple. Really good quality garlic. We got his last 50 pounds here and the rest went for seed for him for this year. We need a good steady supply, good quality.
The worst part of my job is probably peeling garlic. You stink like it for about 2 weeks afterwards.
It's pretty smelly, obviously. We try to peel once a week so much garlic so that we always have some on hand, and we let it soak in our vodka. She's pretty busy chopping garlic lots of times.
So thanks for tuning in, guys. You found out that garlic vodka goes really well in a Caesar. Our raspberry vodka goes good with lemonade. Next week, you're gonna learn that we take that vodka and we can turn it into gin. A lot of people don't know, gin is just vodka that's been through a tea bag.
Ooh, it's that. Mike and Jeff both leave a lot of messes behind, but Mike's usually better at cleaning his up. Jeff kind of explodes and runs away.
So some appliances may have been harmed in the filming of this program.